this is a weak trans. You'll have to be nice to this thing, but it'll be the perfect setup to learn on.
Welcome back to Drybones. Wait, no. I'm just kidding. I'm not actually going to wear this hoodie for the intro. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Drybones Garage. This episode is a part of a series where me and my dad take a 63 Corvair and a G-body cutlass frame and combine them together to create a hot rod. In this week's episode, we start out by doing some more work on the steering column.
This is something I was piecing together as an experiment. I didn't know it was going to work. I was hoping, I was guessing. But what we had discovered, quite literally, is that with the intermediate shaft, I shouldn't say the intermediate shaft, but with the steering column out of the G-body, once we cut this shaft down on the column here, we actually have a really nice fit and it stays true. So with the extended length on this piece of the column, we can actually fit this up inside the stub of the G-body. We can use the collar and everything from the G-body on the lower end of this column and have it attached to the Corvair body column. Now we had to move that over, I want to say 3/4 to 1 inch closer to center in the, I guess you would call it the instrument cluster or the pod and the dash for that, which actually kind of worked in our favor. Everything kind of cleans up and looks a little nicer in there doing that. And just took the column, drilled a hole, and we're going to plug weld this together. We've got the car sitting square and straight. We'll just have to hold the steering wheel square and straight and position it properly. That's going to be your job. And then you're going to have to call it up when that thing is sitting at 12 o'clock. And we've got a nice snug seam in there because this thing is going to want to pull. Alright. Once we have that done, we've got this all positioned and laid out the way it needs to be. The column itself, or the shell of the column, is actually mounted to the body where it's going to be in its permanent position. So this is the last piece of the puzzle right here. We get that done, we'll spot that together, we'll pull it out, do a full plug weld, dress it down, put the collar back together again once everything's cooled off, and we should have a steering column for your car. Alright, that steering wheel's natural tendency is to sit at 12 o'clock, right? You see the way that wheel is clamped right now? It should be looking like it's dead straight.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to push that in as far as it's going to go in. You can go more than that. You know what? Do you want to set the bead? You want to spot this together? That's got to come another little bit farther in, kiddo. There you go. That's good?
Yeah, that's straight.
Okay. Okay, let it go, see what happens. Okay, that's what we were looking for. So we got the spots in there.
What about spots?
They're a little bit proud on that shaft, right?
Right.
So we've got to dress those down so we can get the collar back over that. But yeah, we'll just let that cool off, clean that up, cut the armature off of that. I don't know what you would call that middle piece of the column. There's that, the actual steering column, then kind of an intermediate piece for the shift mechanism. We need that to keep everything centered up. If I'm understanding what I was seeing properly, a little clip, put that all back together again, that'll keep it kind of centered, and your column will be essentially done. You just have to pretty it up.
Cool.
After that conversation, we attempted to install the engine, although it didn't have a very graceful trip.
Nope, it did not.
Did you get it in there?
It's in there. Yeah, that ain't good.
What isn't good?
I think we're going to be reconfiguring this again. We'll have to see where this thing actually lands, but we're into the column. This thing sits fair sight higher. We're going to have to put a scoop on this thing. There's no getting around it. That engine's sitting a lot higher than I thought it would or should in the car. You start tapping on that thing. That bolt that I was tapping.
Do you need me in there?
This is ridiculous.
How it won't go in the hole?
We're right there, but it's, we need that leg to tweak down just a hair in order for it to drop into place. See if that fixed it.
Oh, it goes. It went through. That's off.
Okay. I think that'll give us the room we need to clear now without torquing on that distributor. Hopefully she'll set right down on those motor mounts rather than lean into the firewall anymore. Actually, I already girthed the snot out of that firewall. Now I'm just worried about the distributor. Okay. There she is. No, she isn't. Okay. Let's get this thing kind of centered up in the bay here and get some stands under it. Get the trans in there. This is a glass trans.
Glass?
This is a weak trans. You'll have to be nice to this thing, but it'll be the perfect setup to learn on.
I'm not a very delicate person, as in treat delicate things nicely.
You'll have to be. You can finesse the welder, and you're learning how to do that pretty well. We're learning how to be gentle with the car.
I was?
Yes. You'll learn how to handle this, or you'll break it. And if you break it, well, we'll have to get a beefier one. That said, I would recommend not abusing it. Get as many miles out of this as you can, and then we'll upgrade both the engine and the trans at the same time. Go from a 5 liter to a 350. And get a WC instead of just a T5. WC is a little beefier unit. It ain't the best in the world, but it should still live behind a mild 350 if you're not abusing it. And once you get decent with that, then we can start looking at something a little more if you want. Maybe go something like what's in the Malibu, but that thing is a monster. You really have to pay attention to what you're doing and how you're doing it, or the car will get away from you. This is a pretty modern shifter here.
Yeah.
That came out of one of the Supras. I had 3 of them.
Is there a way we can kind of do like what we did with the steering column?
That's what I was asking you. Do you want to run? Because that shifter is pretty ugly. But
I don't remember what it looks like.
it's pretty beat.
Is there a way
I don't know if we can find something that's modern that kind of resembles, or if we want to try and keep a little bit more of this car in the original patina, kind of pointedly leave a few things ratty inside the car. That's kind of your decision. How do you want to play that? You know what I'm saying? So let's get this covered so we don't get a bunch of debris down in here. Tape's not going to stick if there's any kind of something here.
Oh.
It doesn't have to be strong, but it's got to stay put. Because once we get it up there, we're going to have to mark center in the bottom of that floor.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have to punch a hole. Use a hole saw doing that. Don't want all of those chips getting down inside the trans, do we?
No.
I figure what we'll do is we'll lay tape over it, and then we'll come back with the shrink wrap. And that should ensure we don't have a problem. Now I traded off a little turbo 5-speed Mustang back in the day for this transmission. Because the car had a blown engine. Well, I shouldn't say blown engine. It was a tired engine. The turbo was blown and taken off the car, so it was a gutless turd. And then some moron decided to take it to the drag strip when they borrowed it.
Yeah.
to go watch the races. They decided to put it in the races, I guess.
Oh.
I don't know why. I mean, the car was a boat anchor.
Yeah.
But yeah, they blew the trans up. I had a Monte Carlo that I was working on, so I just finished the Monte Carlo. Let that thing rot. The guy gave me this for the shell and the title. And he turned around and put an automatic and a 302 in it.
Oh.
Got lots of parking tickets for that car not long after that.
What?
He never titled it.
Oh.
He just fixed it and then sold it to somebody who didn't, didn't bother parking it properly or paying the tickets because they kept coming back to me. So yeah, you ever sell a car, make sure you write up a receipt. The town I was in, I was rather shocked that they didn't just make me pay those tickets. I went to court for them.
Oh. Because
this isn't me.
Yeah.
I don't know who this guy is. I traded it for a transmission, and they looked at me like, "Are you nuts?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't know this tranny was garbage at the time.
Yeah.
Didn't know my backside from a hole on the ground about cars. Still don't know that much. Just enough to get myself in trouble. That should keep the garbage out." Okay, we can do this one of two ways. We can pull this back down, or we can just come in, kind of peen it.
Peen it?
Yeah, we'll hit it with a center punch close to center. Measure center up top off of that mark. And then cut her hole. And then I don't have to pull this out and put it back in again.
Don't pull it out and do it that way.
Alright, you're going to want to watch from above to see where this pops. She's starting to beam. There it is.
That was quick.
I think that'll work. We're too far forward, aren't we?
I think.
Yeah, we're way too far forward.
Are we just gonna have to weld?
We might. We'll see. I think I've got a good sized boot we can use that should cover all of that. But we are going to have to enlarge the hole, I think, to avoid interference.
What are you doing down there?
Set my trans to the housing. I don't want to let this sit unsupported any longer than we have to.
That's not bad.
Probably want to open up that hole about a ½ inch to the rear.
Yeah.
I think, but yeah, that's not bad. Better than I thought it was.
Well, that's about it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give us a like, and if you want to see more of what we're doing with the car in the future, then please consider subscribing. Other than that, I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and the rest of your week, whenever you're watching. I don't know when that is. And I'll see you later. Bye! Bye!